Hello and welcome to the second part of the April Fool's War of Thunder episode, like I promised. This is the second half, which is the 2077 one, or I believe it's 2077. It's 20-something, which isn't that far in the future, honestly, so I'm curious. We'll see if this becomes true or not, because I'll live to see it. I don't know about the rest of you, but I will. Boomers. Anyway. So basically, this whole game mode is about is you have 4 new vehicles unique to this game type. 3 land-based, 1 air-based. Also, we have this new map right here. I don't know where it's supposed to be located, but yeah, there's like spaceship and stuff around. But yeah, we have the Harpy, the Minotaur, the Hydra, and the Wyvern, or Wyvern, depending on how you want me to pronounce it. Because I know you guys will crucify me for it. Well, some of you will. So first off, we have, sorry, it's spring at the time I'm recording this, and kind of getting in the spring pollen type stuff. But yeah, first we have the Minotaur. It's basically a tank that can launch missiles. It also, along with the rest of these vehicles, minus the Wyvern, has active camouflage. Also, these vehicles are very fast. They're lightly armored, just like the Harpy that you see right here. It can turn pretty much on a dime, and it's also pretty lightly armored. You can see all the active camouflage all over it as well. The Harpy is meant to serve as an anti-air platform, mainly, and defense against the missiles that the Minotaur and the Hydra can launch. It's not very effective against up-close combat, though. Next on the list, we have the Wyvern. So, I'm gonna admit, I'm in the very early tiers of all the air stages, because once again, I just started getting into War of Thunder. So, I wasn't quite sure how to work the Wyvern for a while. So, I just ended up being target practice for a lot of Harpies out there most of the time. And these are my attempts at trying to figure it out. And I managed to fire a missile, but it didn't work out very well. And I'm still to this day not quite sure how to do it, because I know I launched that guided one, but yeah, I'm not quite sure. I just ended up getting shot down a lot of the time, but I did eventually figure it out, which you'll see later in the video. But for the time being, I apologize for not knowing how any of these advanced things work, because I'm no higher than like the World War II tier. And now here you get to see me getting a little bit familiar with the Harpy and the tracking and the missiles and stuff like that. And also you can see the active camouflage activated on the Harpy and how it goes on and off. But yeah, I just tried shooting first, which turns out not to be very effective. But yeah, it's a very lightly armored vehicle, which, thanks to the Minotaur's missiles and the missiles of the Hydra, you kind of want to stay far back and maybe under some slight cover, because the whole game was turned into just a slugfest of missiles, which you do have defense against, because you have like an active defense turret system. And here you see I got my first aircraft kill, finally, after figuring out how the hell it works. And then kaboom. So apparently he got me and I got him. But yeah, the active camouflage is really cool. They did a really good job with it, I have to say. Like, look, like, it conforms to the terrain and everything. Like, it works really well. But yeah. So I apologize if you think I'm stupid, but I don't have very advanced technology at where I am in the tech tree for War of Thunder, so I'm gonna do some stupid stuff and stuff that may aggravate you with these. So I'm very sorry about that. Also, for some reason, the Harpy does have a main battle cannon, but it's not as effective. But I still did nail that guy too. But yeah, I still can't figure out what the reason is for the Harpy having a main battle cannon, except for like combat with other vehicles, but it's still not very much meant for that, or very good at it for that matter. But it still does a pretty good job of deflecting all of these missiles that you can hear coming in. And now in here you can see me trying to use it as a combat vehicle other than just air support. And it kind of works. It's even more lightly armored than the Minotaur and the rest of the vehicles that you get to try out. So it doesn't work out too well, but thanks to how fast it moves and its invincibility to missiles, well, mostly its resistance, it makes it a lot easier to approach the targets. But once you get up close and personal, like you can see me doing here, drifting through a fence, targeting these guys doesn't go over very well because you have very light armor and basically you're sporting the same weapons. But I do manage to nail this guy right in the magazine and kick him off, but then I get nailed in the magazine, and there I go. And also, this is prone to happening. This is when I couldn't figure out how to activate the fence system. There's a Hydra chasing me, which is why you can't get really close in this game with certain vehicles, because the Harpy can't do much damage to the Hydra because of its underpowered turret. And the Hydra does have missiles, but it has to launch them just like the Minotaur does. And yeah, it's a really weird, it was more like a ranged ground battle than anything, which I'm not used to. Once again, I'm used to playing like the low tech tree, so I'm way more used to fighting like face to face, really close and personal, so this was really weird for me. But luckily he left me alone, so I was okay to repair and get back up and running. Yeah, I don't know, the Harpy's a weird one. Like, once again, like the close combat, it's possible, and it seems like it's also made for that in a way, but also not, so it's kind of confusing. And next we have the Hydra, which is like a weird little thing too. I couldn't figure out how to work it for the longest time. It has this UAV that it can launch to scout ahead and things like that, and then you can launch missiles. Basically, it just serves as a missile launching platform and a coordination platform. Also, very easily destructible from the air. But confusingly enough, I think it might also be kind of, like, not like specific, I think it's more specifically geared toward ground targets, as you can see. Like with like the UAV and stuff, how it's kind of meant to maybe probably target ground targets. But it seems to me like you could hit air targets with this thing. I never managed to do it, because they would have to get close enough, and by the time they're in range, they're also in range of me, and they can destroy me pretty easily. But again, I feel like you could hit an air target with this. But it does not have any main battle cannon or anything like that. Particularly, it just has missiles. So if you even try to get in an up-close battle with this thing, it's a losing fight. So it's mainly just like a missile strike platform and a scouting vehicle. I didn't get, but then again, admittedly, I didn't get much gameplay with this vehicle because to me it wasn't very fun to play. Like, sure, I could fire missiles, but then like if they pushed on my position, I couldn't do anything about it. But it did let me get good views of the map. As you can see here, there's like blimps around. There's the rockets in the distance. There's a bunch of, this map was pretty cool. I'd like to see it come back. I don't know what, I can't remember what the specifics of the map was, like what the story behind it is, because I know they always have one. But yeah, it did let me get a good view of the map. And it let me scout out a lot of enemy positions and just keep bombing them over and over. But then again, you can do the same exact thing with the Minotaur by just like wasting a missile and spotting everybody and then going to shoot at them. So it kind of feels like an off place. Like the Harpy definitely has a place as like an anti-air platform. The Minotaur is like the main battle tank. But this one just felt a little bit weird and like kind of fit in like a weird spot, like as like a support kind of class vehicle ish in some way or another, but at the same time not. Because if the Minotaur can do this as well minus the UAV, I don't see what the point to it is. But yeah, still nonetheless pretty cool vehicle. And pretty fun to use most of the time when I'm actually hitting things. But yeah, the combat on this map was actually really fun. It was a lot of fun and a lot of like drifting around in the tanks, firing missiles and things like that. Pretty cool map. Just take a look. Also, there were these random EMPs that would go off, since all these things are electronic. You would drop all of them, and including the wyverns, unless they stayed high enough in the air, and would deactivate you for a couple seconds. I couldn't figure out exactly what they were meant to do. I think it was whoever had control over like as far as I can understood, whoever had control over the checkpoint or the capture point was the person that was not affected by the EMPs. That's what I got. Yeah, pretty cool little thing added to the combat. You can see here before I learned homing, targeting, trying to target a wyvern with a self-guided missile. And I get pretty close, but I don't get close anymore. But it's fine, because I do recover with a Harpy kill. See, just hiding right here behind this monorail. And I got the sneaky little bastard. If I can't take out their air, I'll take out their air defenses. But in this game mode, calling in all these missile strikes made me feel like Obama, or any president for that matter. Then we also have Drift Tank. top of all of that, if having drifting tanks was in it, we have these harpy bastards who I cannot perform my drone strikes on because they have active defense systems. What a load of bullshit. I just want to drop bombs in the Middle East. Is that too much to ask for? God damn it, this is what I was made for. I'm American after all. Sad American noises.
Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Jokes and memes aside, thank you for watching. And I'm just going to throw in all the other clips that I didn't know what to do with, but I thought they were pretty cool, so I'm going to leave them in at the end. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.